Consistent forage leads to a consistent ration. Cows like consistency, and cows with a consistent ration maximize milk production. One of the worst things you can do to a dairy animal is change the ration repeatedly, especially in forages, because the rumen is essentially a big fermentation vat. And if we're consistently changing the quality of the forage that's going into that animal, that rumen has to continually adjust to that. And a lot of times if we have dramatic changes within that ration, that rumen can take a month to stabilize, for the microorganisms in that rumen to stabilize. Forage quality is extremely important because it makes up at least half of the dairy cow's ration. And so it's a major component of that ration. Unfortunately, forages are also extremely variable, especially the fermented forages. You could look at statistics from any commercial lab that's out there, and they report the variation they see in forage samples that come through their lab, and it's incredible, the spread of numbers that they see coming through their lab. When a fermented feed is not stabilized, you're introducing day-to-day variation when you feed that to a dairy cow until it does stabilize. And so what you're doing is you're adding a different ration every day to that dairy cow. And we want consistent ration to be fed every day. So until that fermented feed is fully fermented and stabilized, then that cow really doesn't get a consistent ration. Now the problem is that there's research that shows that fermented feed really changes all the time anyway. We think that after 60 days that fermented feed is stable, but it truly isn't. It's always going through some changes. And so when we're feeding a lot of fermented feed, we're always introducing some variation within the ration. So what we have is billions of microorganisms in the rumen that actually digest the forages. The cow itself doesn't digest forages. It's the microorganisms within the rumen that do that. The cow then utilizes the byproducts of that digestion of the forages, such as volatile fatty acids, amino acids, things like that. One way Bovamine can help with that is that we have research that shows that when Bovamine is fed to the dairy cow, we see a flushing out of E. coli from the lower gut. We also see a flushing out of salmonella as well. And then we have some recent research that shows that there's actually a flushing out of Clostridia as well. Not using Bovamine is a missed opportunity because of the reduction in pathogenic bacteria in the lower gut, which is such a nice bonus with Bovamine. But on top of that, we have milk production efficiency and feed efficiency that we see with cows being fed Bovamine, that we can make things more economical in a feeding program for that dairy cow.